Chicka chicka chow. All right, we're live. Woohoo! Welcome to Fishy Hour. It's Thursday, and Thursdays we have interviews. Coach Werf saved me today because I slacked, guys. I've been a little busy with work. You know, what pays the bills. And Coach has always been there ready for me to rely on him for the days when I couldn't sort out an interview. But either way, Coach Werf is always fun to speak to. So we're going to have him join us in a couple of minutes. We'll just do some quick shout outs of you guys that are already in the chat. I see 17 of you guys in here. Welcome. I see Aiden. I see Joaquin, Wayne, Todd, TB Metal Art in the house. Werf. Oh, Werf TV, of course. Werf TV is already waiting for us to talk to him. Kyle, Jet, Sandra, Brian, Dario, Cal, Leonard. Wow, that's a good amount of people. Jetty Fish and Marcus. What up, Jetty? Welcome to the stream. I think it's your first time here because I don't recognize you. So if it's your first time on the show, type in all caps, first timer, so everybody can say what's up, get to know you, and you can become part of this awesome group. I see Doug in the house, El Sueño! You better buy Roman a new watch, that's right. I see Roy in the house. What up, Roy? What's up, all? Surf fishing sucked for today, but okay, go. Guitar fish. Oh, nice. I see Arnold in the house. What up, Arnie? Zach, welcome back, Zach. I'm glad to have you back. And Salty Dangler in the house. Salty Dan, my rival. Jet in the house. Captain Dan, what up? And Muto, welcome back, dude. All right, here we go. So the song's about to fade out, and I'm gonna bring on the man, the myth, the legend, the coach, Mr. Coach Werf in the house. Ready, Coach? Give me a nod when you're ready. Right, our coach is ready. Here we go. I'll bring him up. My screen back here. There he is. And then I'll switch over to split screen. What up, Coach? You're on.
What's happening, Roman?
Good. Just hanging out, enjoying the live streaming. This is fun. This is super fun.
It's been fun for us too.
Super cool. All right, so the long-awaited interview. How you been?
Oh God, been all right. Fishing's been up and down, but that's fairly typical.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I know you're super busy today. You got to go right at 8 o'clock, so we're gonna rush a little bit through it.
Like I can hang out for a little bit, like 8:20 maybe.
Okay, perfect, cool. So we won't hold you up more than we need to. So let's guys right away go ahead and start populating your questions for Coach. Capitalized question, colon, and then your question. And I'll start peppering Coach with the questions as we go through his basic his angler journey of how you even got into fishing. Coach, how'd you get into fishing? Like who introduced the Coach? Oh yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. Actually, one of my first formative memories. The first things I remember out of all the things I remember, other than my mom and curlers, while I was watching Godzilla on the little black and white TV in our dining room.
That's so good.
That's the other earliest memory I have. But the one I think might even predate that a little bit is I remember standing with my dad in the Hotel del Coronado on that string of rocks that's right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he was catching guitar fish. It's one of the first things I remember. Out of all the things in my life I remember, that's one of the first.
That's funny. That's so funny. That's good. So was your dad like a catch and release guy, or he kept stuff?
It really depended. My dad kept two categories of fish. He kept things to eat and use for bait.
Got it.
Then he would keep trophy fish.
Oh.
For my dad would be like a 25-pound carp or something, because he was like a panfish angler his whole
Right.
life. Still is, actually. He's got one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel, but he's still with us. He's still out. He's still out catching bluegills with his new wife, who is a couple years younger than me. But anyways,
that's awesome.
Not to digress.
That's awesome. All right, so let's before we continue, let's address the mask so we can put people's minds at ease and they can figure out. So first of all, Coach is not taking off his mask. It's part of his mystique. It's part of his brand, so to speak. His kids don't even know what it looks like. All right, so don't ask.
That's funny, since about 2/3 of the people in this chat may well know what I look like.
Coach had a weird incident with some weirdos. We don't want to go over the whole story because some of you guys already heard it. But to the point where like he felt it would better to conceal his identity. He hasn't done anything shady. He just would rather not deal with the weirdos out there, right?
There's definitely some crazy people out there, and I would like to have as little contact with those people, and especially my kids to have as little contact with those people as I can. That's the whole reason behind the mask.
That's awesome, cool.
May take it off when they get older, though.
So tell. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your, because there's a transition when you were just a guy who fishes from shore with his pops or whatever fishing, to where it became like a job or like a career for you. Because I know you were on the fishing boats for a while, right?
Yeah. Guess when I was a kid, I didn't really understand it, but it was the end of the golden age for the San Diego commercial fishing fleet. I shouldn't say the end of the golden age. It was like the end of the remnants of what used to be, have been before, and the continuation. Yeah. Like the dregs of the barrel remained finally.
Okay. So pause. Sorry, I'm so sorry, guys. We forgot to do this. Are you ready? All right.
I'm ready.
Do you want to go first? Guess goes first.
You go first, and then you can laugh at me.
All right, here we go. So next interview, we're gonna change it. Guess goes first. Okay. I don't want to be first again. Next time, guess goes first. Here we go. Optimal angle. Little ASMR action right here. Here we go. Rate this pop top on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the best you ever heard. Here we go.
That was pretty good.
It's pretty good. All right, I'll take my first sip when you go, so we can have a toast.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
I won't let you see it. Won't let you see it, but I'll let you hear it.
Oh, nice, nice. There we go. That's a good pop. That was a good pop. I like it. Buffalo Trace. Ooh, is that like a whiskey or like a rum?
Yeah, it's a bourbon.
Bourbon, nice.
I can't have too much. I'm driving in 2 hours. So
yeah, that's
can't
good.
have too much. And
Cheers.
yes, I drink through my mask at work all the time.
Cheers, Coach. Oh, you do? Buffalo. What's it called?
Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, it's filtered. Oh, here we go. Oh, Wayne said you should be hiding behind a fence like Wilson. That's so good. Okay,
look, just because I get my decorating tips from Mossad does not mean
I know, right? And then Coach said you got a 10 on that pop top. Yeah. Sorry, Wayne gave you a 10 on that pop top. It's perfect. So good. All right, cool. Hey, what up, police? Welcome to the stream. You too, Dario. So let's continue the story. So your beginnings of the commercial fishing, at the end of the golden age of commercial fishing here in San Diego, and go.
So basically, there were still a few boats left that would go out and chase tuna. We had lots of lobster guys then. I helped out a real old timer. That was the first time I was on a boat commercially, but I'd been on the half day boat since I was like 7 or 8. And then by the time I was entering my teenage years, the whole angst at my house thing kind of started getting the better of me. So I looked for the way out, and found my feet on the first deck of my first real boat, which was a lobster boat. I was helping an old man off of G Street.
Cool.
And eventually it led to lots of lost time at school and getting up in strange parts of the world with people I didn't know very well.
Nice.
But it all started from that, and then eventually I got on a Mexican boat that was out of Ensenada that was up here dropping off some. Keep in mind, sushi wasn't really popular. That wasn't that popular yet.
Yeah.
Like around 90, 91, 92, it wasn't that popular. So an order for sushi was pretty rare, but I got on a boat out of Ensenada at the early one summer. I think it was the summer after I turned 13. And I got on the deck of that boat, and I went back to Ensenada, and I worked with those guys. And then I just eventually you just learn how to get around and jump from one boat to another one, and
Oh, that's cool.
pretty soon you're facing waves that don't move that are 80 feet tall, and you're entering the Indian Ocean. It's an interesting experience, and
That's
I'm
awesome.
long lost now.
Yeah, that's a crazy adventure right there, man. So do you remember? I think you might have told a story on Discord. Wait, did you tell a story about banana crates with snakes in them?
Yeah. That was kind of my entry into being a commercial snake hunter.
So that the fishing on the deckhanding and basically being on commercial boats, that was before or after the snake era?
Both.
Kind of mixed.
Both, but I was at the kind of towards the end of me being a fisherman. I was already engaging in that a little bit.
Got it.
That kind of got my foot in the business, and then I got to know people who asked me to do more and more complicated things.
That's cool. Okay, cool. Cool. I just want to get it. I want to hit it like in order. So let's go back to the fishing. Okay. So okay. So I don't even know what it's like to fish in the Indian Ocean, but it's like you said 80 foot. So 80 foot. That's huge.
Well, I guess at certain times of year, and it's not all the time.
Yeah.
But apparently, I got to experience something that is known to happen, but it's not common. So like the two currents merge. And the merging of those currents pushes the water up and down.
Yep.
It pushes the water up into like these weird standing waves that like creep across the water. They're not really moving very fast.
Cool. So kind of like what we get in La Jolla right there in front of the children's pool. We get that standing wave. Yeah, that's cool.
That weird wave it's something like that. It's like it's caused by the interaction of the currents, and it's at certain times of year, and it was really weird just seeing 2 or 3 of these waves standing out in the middle of. It was very weird, but
that's pretty
apparently
cool.
Something that's known but not experienced by many. So I guess I was kind of lucky or unlucky to have seen that, depending on how you look at
it. Nice. Do you remember any like harrowing or like interesting things that happened on in that phase of your fishing journey?
I saw St. Elmo's fire. That was pretty crazy.
Wait, say that again.
I saw St. Elmo's fire.
Whoa. I'm not sure what that is. I'm a little bit ignorant on that piece. What is that?
So St. Elmo's fire is a special atmospheric condition that happens to certain ships. It causes their superstructure to like light up in this green light.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can see it from a long way away, sort of. I mean, farther than you'd think for like a dull green glow.
Yeah.
It's very strange, and it does kind of look like green fire is eating the top of the ship.
Oh,
got to see that.
But it doesn't hurt anything, right? It's just like an optical thing.
It's some sort of electrostatic discharge. I don't understand the mechanics of it.
That's cool. That's like some of that like at sea magic stuff, you know, like you always see weird stuff.
And I mean, I'm very lucky to have seen it, obviously, but I spent a lot of time out there, so it's not that surprising.
Yeah.
It's still I've seen it like once, or I kind of saw it a second time, but I mean, the one time I saw it, it was really strong. It was really strong. Like it looked like flames. It was totally bizarre.
That's cool. I need to. That's probably gonna be a trivia question. I learned something today. That's great. Cool. Let's see. Okay, that's cool. For the most part, you said you were lobster fishing at first?
Just for the first couple of weeks until I got to know the guys on the docks, and then I helped some guys pulling black cod.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. It's not really a fish that's well known among our sport community, but it is a fairly large commercial crop here. I mean, even still now, there's lots of black cod out there, or sable fish, some people call them.
Yeah. That's cool.
Or oil cod's another name, but so I helped the old man run his boat for lobsters. It was like right at the end of his career. He didn't have much left in him, but and I helped some guys run some deep water lines. That's actually kind of where I got my passion for the deep water fishing.
Cool.
But seeing all the crazy crap that you can pull out of 15 or 18 or 3,000 feet of water is definitely interesting.
So that was and so that was all hand cranked?
No, that wasn't hand crank. We were winding onto a spool.
Cool.
I was laying side, and you had to kind of guide the line on there, and then you had to hook the hooks and the little holders that went on the side.
Oh, got it. Cool. That's cool. That's super cool.
It was cool, and I saw lots of crazy stuff. I mean, weird fish that nobody sees.
Like pulled up weird fish from like that depth.
Uh,
What's some of the weird stuff you saw?
um, see, I saw a couple different types of lanternfish and anglerfish that were really weird looking. There's this, I think it's a relative of the rockfish. It's like called a horny spine or something.
Mm.
That thing is like all these spikes on its face. It's really strange looking. But yeah, it's I saw some of those, and all kinds of the deeper water, like it's not a cutlass fish. That's a different part of the world, but it kind of looks like one, long and skinny, kind of snake-like, with like an ugly face with giant teeth. A few of those.
I can't remember where I saw this, but it might have been on Instagram. Somebody posted a picture of like it looked like an octopus, but it had webbing between all the tentacles. It's probably like this big around, and it had one eyeball on top, and like a little, looked like a a-hole on the bottom.
A single breathing hole on the side or something. There's so much weird stuff that's out there.
No, and like people, I watched the chat because like nobody was guessing what it was. It did have tentacles with suckers on it, but between each tentacle was like the big web. It looked like just like a flat, like a frisbee, and on top of that was like a single eyeball that was like pretty big.
Sounds like a Dumbo octopus,
and it was like pink.
I don't know. The Dumbo octopus is a weird looking thing. They kind of flap, like if you ever saw the movie Dumbo, they flap their wings and it looks like Dumbo flying. They're super weird looking, dude. I don't know, but sounds kind of like one.
No, but this has two eyes. The Dumbo octopus has two eyes. That thing had one eye. It was weird. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, but the other eye could have been on the other side from you where you couldn't see it too.
Oh no, they specified that it had one eye.
You could be looking down. Oh, they specified it only had one eye.
Yeah.
Well, I've caught lots of one-eyed fish in my life. I don't
that's
know.
True. That's true. Maybe it was a Dumbo fish. Like really, it was an extra Dumbo fish. Sorry.
An extra unlucky Dumbo.
Exactly. All right, let me get back to this chat over here. Where is it? Chat. There you guys are. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so let's do a couple questions real quick. So Jet's got a question. He says, and we'll go back to the fishing journey in a second. He says, how common are queenfish in Mission Bay? Caught one a month ago on a swim bait. Also, where do they place on the Coach food scale? That's such a good question.
Okay, so it's kind of actually a complicated question because like most of our coastal fish, queenfish are a type of croaker, right? Like a whole bunch of, we have a bunch of croakers that live here. We have the black croaker, yellowfin croaker, a corvina, white sea bass corvina, a white croaker, that weird Mexican croaker that comes up here. Something. We got all these croakers, right? And queenfish are one of those. So in the old commercial fishing books, we mention a thing called kingfish. What kingfish is queenfish, tomcod, white croakers, I think. If you ever see a reference to kingfish, but those were actually pulled out of the water and harvested, salted, and sold overseas, if my understanding is right.
Oh, that's cool.
They do have very white meat. It is kind of soft. So you probably need to cook them with the skin on. And he asked on a scale of 1 to 10.
No, on your scale. On the coach's food scale. So like, what's your, in your opinion, what's the best eating fish we have here, or the best eating fish period?
Best eating fish period is probably a queen snapper out of all the ones I've had.
Okay, and then
the queen snapper is amazing, but you have two categories of fish, right? You have white fish and you have meat fish.
Okay, cool.
Meaty fish.
Okay. So what's
so my favorite white fish would be like a queen snapper. My favorite meaty fish is probably the lined bonito.
Okay, cool. So let's do this.
They also call them leaping bonito.
What's one above and one below this queenfish on your scale?
Kind of soft. So like, if you're making it into soup or something, it would definitely rank higher. You need a softer fish for that. But I don't know. I'd say it's, for me, in edibility, it's like below a yellowfin croaker, like maybe above like a tomcod or a I don't know. There's kind of the meat's mild and white, but it's very soft.
Got it.
You have to treat it properly. I
Nice.
would say.
Yeah.
Turn it into soup or deep fry, something like that.
Jeez. Awesome.
I definitely think yellowfin croaker are better if it makes your decision easier.
All right.
They are a top-notch halibut bait, though.
Oh, cool. Let's see. Jet's got a. I'm sorry, not Jet. Aiden's got a question, real quick. What rig for smaller bass for trolling without planer boards?
I would run either a dipsy diver to a small rattle trap style bait, or a dipsy diver to a swivel with a mid-sized rooster tail. That would be my call.
Perfect.
I mean, open water freshwater fishing is probably my single weakest area in all my fishing expertise. Much better with moving freshwater. I'm much better with moving saltwater. Much better with pelagic saltwater. But like the more still forms of freshwater are my absolute lowest confidence areas to fish.
Perfect. All right, we're gonna do 3 more questions. 2 more questions, and then we're gonna go back to the fishing journey. John's asking if you've ever seen a midshipman. I say yes.
Oh yeah, lots of times.
Cool.
I know. I'll just forestall the question. No, I have never eaten a midshipman.
It seems
the
like
reason is very simple.
Why?
They are absolutely one of the best baits ever made for catching leopard sharks.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Okay, so I have a question from Zach here. Actually, Zach, your name comes up as Zachary. You okay if we call you Zach? If so, just type in the chat, say that's good, or call me whatever. I'll call you Zachary, I'll call you Zach, whatever works for you, but I prefer Zach because it's easier. Question is, which is your favorite fish to catch in San Diego or Mission Bay that you can eat, and how do you prepare it?
It's probably a pretty even split between what I call the other panfish, which are half moon, zebra, opali, and darn it, what's the fourth one? I always forget. Oh, sargo. Those are probably my favorite to target and eat. But also, my other favorite to target and eat is either big jack mackerel or bonitos.
Oh, cool.
Two of my favorites to eat also. So, like I say, we have whitefish and we have meaty fish.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then you basically pan fry them?
So the panfish, I either, if they're real big, I'll fillet them, cut them into strips, egg wash them, and fry them.
Perfect.
With or without one of my favorite coatings. This is a secret. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. It's after your egg wash, use a little bit of either tapioca starch or potato flakes.
Oh,
It'll come out super crispy. Nice. Super crispy. It'll turn like golden in the pan. It's amazing.
Now I'm like, I want to go try it.
It's amazing. But anyways,
that's cool.
For the meaty fish, what I like to do is I like to fry them skin side down for a second. I pour half a beer in the pan. I flip them over, and when the beer's gone, they're cooked, and I make them into tuna salad or fish cakes, or I'll make fish dip.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, I like it. That's good. All right, so Zach, it is right on, Zach. Okay, cool. Adam's Fishing Channel. What up, dude? Welcome to the stream. Adam says, I used a queenfish for live bait in my last vid. Didn't get anything on it. Well, it's. Go ahead.
The big halibut has to be there first for you to pitch the bait to him. Yeah, I mean that's.
So speaking of big halibut, Todd TB Metal Art has a question. I want to catch a halie in the bay. Best bait and depth.
I mean, assuming that you don't have queenfish, tomcod, or white croakers handy, which would be my top 3 picks. Number 4 is ranked right in there, right just barely under them, and it's lizardfish.
Oh, nice.
You and I have talked before about the swing hook rig on this show, so I won't get into it too much. But I prefer a swing hook rig when I'm targeting halibut. It's because they so rarely commit, and a lot of times the swing hook will get into the jaw on the opposing side.
That makes sense.
And you'll be able to catch them that way.
So let's talk about that. I know we got the swing hook sorted out. Okay. We're not gonna go over that in too much detail. Eventually, once I'm done cataloging all the episodes, you'll be able to search for swing hook talk and find it in fishyhour.com, and you'll be able to look up that video and see where we talked about it. Okay. But so swing hook, It's an extra line that comes off the treble hook, swinging around. It's not connected to the fish. Let's talk about the line that connects the actual bait. So is that you're doing a dropper loop?
I don't prefer it as a knot. I have a bunch of other knots I prefer instead of the dropper. They're more reliable for me.
Okay.
They're a little stronger. They're quicker to tie.
I mean, just talk about the configuration of the line, basically. So we know that we have
this would be my preference would be to run a slider up the line, a sliding weight.
Okay. So main line,
I would
slider
run
weight.
Main line.
Okay.
And then I would run a bead.
Okay.
I run a bead. You can make it glass. You can make it brass. You can make it plastic. You can make it rubber. It depends on how loud you want it to be when it's knocking against the weight.
Got it. And
right?
so
if you use a steel sliding weight, it'll be extra loud.
Yeah.
If you need extra loudness, you can use steel.
Okay.
They make steel sliding weights in Walmart now, so nobody has an excuse not to use steel if you don't want to.
Yep.
And if I wanted the bead to remain off the bait a little bit, stop that weight from sliding all the way to the bait. I don't find halibut to be too picky, but some fish like lingcod like to. I don't know what they're doing down there. I don't know if they get some sick pleasure. I mean, think about a lingcod. The thing's massive. It has like all these dagger-like teeth. And I don't know what they're doing to the bait down there, but it's definitely not anything fun for the bait. But they require extra time.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So we have the weight to the bead, and then that's still one main line going down.
And I run that straight to a hook with a Palomar knot.
Okay, perfect.
That's what I would do every time.
Okay, and then the hook has a Palomar knot on it, and the tag of that goes back into the loop and down. Nope.
I tie two more knots. I tie a snell around shank of the front hook.
Okay.
I use a speed snell because I'm an ex-fisherman and that's what we used to do. But keep in mind though that a snell knot's not as strong as a Palomar, so you're really hoping that he gets that front hook.
Okay, so you're doing two hooks then. Oh no, I'm sorry. You're doing with the swing hook. That counts as the second one.
Yeah, we're doing two hooks with the swing hook.
Yep.
A lot of guys like a treble hook for a swing hook. I like a circle hook for a swing hook.
Ooh, that's cool.
Because if it accidentally snags on the outside of the jaw somewhere, it won't come out. It doesn't matter what the halibut does. It's not going to come out.
That's interesting.
If you use a treble and they shake hard enough, if the bait or the weight, they can use it as a counterweight and they can shake the hook out.
Yeah, they can work it out basically. Yeah. Awesome.
If you use like say number 2 circle, they're never getting off of there.
Yeah. Awesome. Is there a limit? Is there a limit to how many swing hooks you can have? Like would it?
Not that I know of.
Would it
but
make
at
sense
a certain point, it becomes unsportsmanlike, in my opinion.
What? 24 swing hooks? What? It's like
not to mention,
it looks like your bait. It looks like your bait is swimming under like an umbrella.
In some parts of the world, they'll string like 12 hooks on.
Oh, geez, that sucks. Okay, cool. Oh, anyway, just like these are the questions just pop up. Okay, so very cool, very cool. And as far as like depth recommendations,
I don't care what depth you're at. I would target
transitions.
The contour changes.
The transitions. Yep.
That's where that ambush opportunity happens. Whether it's bass or halibut or sharks or whatever. That's where that ambush happens. It's sitting there on the top, bait's getting swept over the ridge. It darts up and crushes the poor unsuspecting varmint into oblivion.
That's right. Salty says you could tie a sabiki to the hook as a swing hook.
You certainly could. I don't know that I'd recommend that, but you certainly could.
Now you're catching bait at the same time. And it's good. It's funny. All right. Okay. Let's. So before we jump into too many questions, we're gonna get completely sidetracked, guys. So Jet has the next question. Wait, Jet has it? Oh, not Jet. Dario has the next question. Actually, we're gonna do Dario's question, then we're gonna move on, and Cal will come back to your question. Okay. Dario's question is: since you mentioned Sargo, what's your preferred method to target them?
I have made videos about this. I'm working on making some for my channel, but pretty much look up any sort of thing about the spider hitch rig. It's by far my favorite thing. If you're fishing any kind of mixed turf, mixed rocks meeting sand, individual stones with kelp on them in the sand, stuff like that. I mean, that's Sargo, Half Moon, Blacksmith, Zebra, and Opalite country right there.
Nice. So you have a video on this, right? Give us where we can find that video real quick.
That's on Cast and Spear channel. It's like that video is blowing up. It's got like 18,000 views or something right now. It's very easy to find.
So Cast and Spear, and then what's the video title? Do you know the video?
I think the video title is Best Surf Fishing Rig.
Perfect. There you go. Cool. That's great. Okay, so we're gonna jump back into the interview, and then we'll come back out to your questions, Cal. Keep typing in the questions, guys, as they pop up, and then once I see a little buildup of questions, we'll come back to them. Okay. Cool. All right. So we're at sea. We're fishing commercially, and we just had the let's see. We had the wave that stays in place. We had what else do we have? What was the next most significant thing that happened to you while you're out there? I guess living that commercial fisherman life.
So we entered the Indian Ocean and we lost a through bearing on one of the shafts of the motor, one of the motor shafts the part where it goes through the hole.
Oh, so right? So you're taking on water.
Yeah, we were taking on water.
That sucks.
Where were we right then? We must have been between Indonesia and Australia. We had to have been. We were heading to the Indian Ocean. We were going to make this huge score because snake mackerel was suddenly becoming a popular food in India, Bangladesh, a bunch of places there. So we were going to go. We were going to catch every snake mackerel in the Indian Ocean.
Nice.
So we get about 3/4 of the way there after stopping. Where do we stop first? That was on the way back. Okay, so on the way there, we stopped in Fiji and we unloaded tuna. We stopped in Hawaii, unloaded tuna. Stopped in the Philippines, unloaded tuna.
So that when you say unloaded tuna, you're catching that stuff on the way from site to site, right? That's cool.
From one place to another, you're working everything you can possibly find to work.
And then whenever you get to your next port, you just sell your catch basically.
Well, there's like a number of fishing, or there was. I'm sure it's all consolidated now, but once upon a time there was like fishing cooperatives.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And in the fishing co-ops, basically contract with all the big fish companies. You try to find the best price they can. When you pull in a port, you unload at that fish company's facilities.
Got it.
Usually you're not really the ones processing the fish, other than what they call field dressing or hand cleaning, or there's a bunch of, it depends on what part of the world you're in, but those facilities are run by like a shady underground network of like a whole bunch of crazy people. I don't even know. I've never met weirder people in my life than the people that somehow, even in the early 90s, before, widespread satellite communications or anything like that, somehow they knew you were coming. They knew the price that was negotiated.
Wow.
And there would be usually not local currency. Usually it would be US dollars, or sometimes it would be precious metal would change hands.
Wow.
Even sometimes.
That's crazy. That's pretty cool.
I mean, not very often, because precious metal is a dangerous thing to have in certain parts of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to convert it into useful currency, and it's a pain.
That's funny.
But in some places, that's all they had to work with, so that was what you got.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
But it was an interesting business. But we unloaded tuna and we laid lines, and I'd never heard a captain swear so loud so long. I think it was when we were actually in between Hawaii and Fiji. He had a school of white marlin. Was that where was it? No, that wasn't white marlin. What was it? Oh, it was giant Dorados.
Nice.
Huge Dorados, like 50 to 75 pounds. I don't know where all these Dorado came from, but you look down the line and it was yellow for like a mile and a half.
Oh, that's cool.
It was insanity. I've never seen that since. What's that?
I said I'd dive that.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. But it was Dorados, and the captain cursed loud and long. And we were looking for albacore, I think, and we ended up getting a bunch of like crap yellowfin and Dorados and stuff. And the captain swore up a blue streak. He swore he was going to cut the lines free and turn around and head back to where were we out of then? I think it was Mazatlan then.
That's so funny.
But yeah, he cussed up a blue streak and he punched one guy in the face. It was pretty interesting. I mean, got pretty mad about the whole Dorado thing. I mean, we got good money for him, so I didn't see what the big problem was. But I guess it's just not as much weight on the line. Tuna are fat and Dorado aren't.
That's crazy. All right, so let's do some more questions real quick. So Cal has a question. He says, "What is the bite right now in the IV? Do you prefer the channels or creek/ponds?"
None of the above. During summer, you fish late at night and you fish drains.
Ooh, there you go. Boom. Okay, next question is, Jetty Fishing Marcus asks, ever caught a turbot?
Turbot? Oh,
it's like little halibut, right? They kind of look like halibut, but their eyes are on a post. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So yeah,
they are by far one of the most delicious fish on earth, dude.
Oh, you eat them?
They hold their own. Oh yeah, they hold their own against queen snappers.
What's the regulation on that?
10 limit.
It's a 10 limit. Doesn't matter what size or.
No size.
Oh, that's cool. There you go. Turbot pancakes.
Oh yeah, I've got some nice ones like 13, 14 inches and filleted them.
Oh, nice. So Jet's got a question. He says, "Have you used our local octopus that we have in the bays for live or cut bait, or have you eaten it?"
I'm not a fan of eating the crunchy things. I like my bones on the inside of what I'm eating usually. So I don't usually eat lobsters or shrimp or crabs or octopus or anything.
Wow, interesting.
Our local 2-spot octopus is incredibly tough bait, and they're really good bait for fish like lingcod, halibut, big fish that live on the bottom. You can present them on a heavy jig head, a 12 or 16 ounce jig head, and just bounce them across the bottom. They will get attacked.
So you would pin the whole octopus on there? You wouldn't cut it up?
Cut works good for whitefish or
put a tentacle on there.
But it's kind of a waste in my mind. I mean,
to put the whole fish.
You could go buy you could go use $3 a pound shrimp on 2 number 4 hooks and catch all the white fish you want.
That's true. So true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you heard of a fish called a burbot?
Burbot.
Aiden is asking, have you ever caught one of those?
I've caught a couple where I lived in Wisconsin. They were introduced in this one river system, and they kind of took over.
Okay.
And yeah, we would catch them and fry them all the time. It's a freshwater cod, is what it is.
Oh, got it. Okay, I was just wondering what it would look like. All right, Wayne's got some interesting questions over here. Wayne's got some questions over here.
God, here
you go. Wayne says, "What year did you drop tuna in Fiji?" And then the follow-up question is, I said, "What year did you drop tuna in Fiji?" And his follow-up question is, "What country was your ship under?"
I believe the ship was under Panamanian registry.
That's cool.
Like most of the fishing boats in Mexico, Central America, and South America, they all register in Panama.
That's cool.
Or at least a lot of them do. And the year was probably 95.
Nice. Salty's asking, would you cook a sand dab?
Sand dabs are delicious, dude.
Dang, that's cool.
But you have to remember, sand dabs have a little treatment you have to give them.
Here we go. What's the treatment? Soak it in milk for 100 days and then throw it away?
Then gargle the milk and throw the fish away? Is that what we're doing? So sand dabs really are best fried. Most people don't get the oil hot enough. I mean, it has to be hot.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about that for a second. If you don't want to burn the oil either. What up, Kevin? I see you in here. I see who else? Dario jumped in, Kevin, and who else? I saw someone else new. Anyway, yeah. So let's talk about oils. What oil to use? Because if you use like olive oil, you're not gonna be able to get it hot enough, and it's gonna burn, smoke everything up, and it's not gonna be good, right?
To me, the best oil is peanut.
Yeah, me too. That's what I prefer. It's got a high smoke point.
It's by far the most forgiving.
Yeah.
By far.
Yep. Sweet.
If you don't get the oil hot enough for a sand dab, it'll come out watery. If you ever eat sand dab and it seems watery or more liquid, it's because you didn't get the oil hot enough.
Interesting. Do you have a specific temperature?
I don't know. I just wait until the oil just starts looking like it's gonna smoke, and then I give them the bath.
Got it. Right on. That's perfect. Do you use a cast iron? Sorry, I'm getting specific because I'm gonna do this. Do you use like a cast iron pan to retain the heat longer, or do you just use a regular?
I really do like cast iron.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's a little slow to respond.
Yeah, definitely. But then it also holds the temperature longer.
Yes. But if you make an error, cast iron will not forgive you.
That's true. That's true.
So, I mean, I like the flavor that comes off of a cast iron. I don't like how finicky it is sometimes.
That makes sense. Yep. All right. That's cool. That's good. That's a good little side discussion there. All right. Let's see. Peanut oil is great, just amazing, but expensive. Okay, it says Aiden. Let's see. Okay, we're Arnold says kind of like halibut. I'm not sure what he's referring to. Maybe turbot. Okay.
Not like halibut.
Because they're not like halibut. Okay. Here we go. Here's Cal's question. He says, "How did you get into herpetology? Most exotic snakes. What's the most exotic snake you've handled? Is that what it's called officially? Herpetology?
Snake handling? That's one way of saying it, but I don't think I'm a herpetologist.
I wouldn't want to be called a herpetologist. It sounds like something else.
Oh my!
Cal's shots fired. That's good.
I would not say that I'm a herpetologist. I'm a snake hunter. There is a difference.
Okay, let's talk about the transition between the fishing to the snake hunting.
And I'm starting to sweat over here.
Cal's over here cracking up. That's hilarious. No, let's talk about the so you went through the trials and tribulations of being on deck and fishing exotic waters and having actually some near death experiences, right? So
yeah, I had a few of those. I still have those on a regular basis sometimes.
So you're thinking, well, maybe this is not the right. So what was the moment that you decided to transition into a different field of work?
I don't want to get into it too hard because it's still kind of hard for me to take.
Okay, cool. But you had a near death experience, right?
Yeah.
And we don't have to share that here.
No, it wasn't me having. Well, I'll make it as brief as possible.
Go for it.
The guy that did my job on the other shift lost his life because of a stupid mistake from somebody else.
Got it. Yeah, that's a definite.
No fault of his own. This person did something really dumb, and it cost this man his life, and I was really close to him.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So then you're out. So then you're done with this, and you start looking for your next career path, possibly, right? And then how did the opportunity?
I kind of already knew it.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, good. So how did you discover that skill? How did you discover that this was something that you knew how to do or get into it?
That's a little more complicated. I'll talk about the parts of it that are less problematic.
Okay, go for it.
Say.
Yeah.
So I already had a reputation for dragging stuff back from far corners of the world in dubious circumstances. So I was talking to my guy that I had, and he goes, well, I know a guy who's looking for some snakes. Well, what kind is he looking for? And we kind of went back and forth, and I said, well, I've kind of, poked a few snakes when I was growing up, and, I had a rosy boa as a pet for years, and even experimented with keeping rattlesnakes when I was a teenager, which led to some fun and excitement around my house. But, yeah, and he got me in contact with the guy who got me in contact with the guy, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And eventually those guys like, hey, this other dude needs this and this, or I need these snakes, or I need this box driven from here to here.
Yep.
Here's your paperwork. It's quasi legal.
The transporter.
Yeah,
nice.
Pretty much.
That's super good.
Did dangerous animal handling, import, export, and capture on the lab level, the hobbyist level, the collector level.
That's cool.
And Eventually, I became known in all the laboratories, and at one time, I was like probably one of the top 2 or 3 guys in the country in terms of volume. And
That's cool, and that's probably some of the work that you'll be doing later tonight as well, right? Not necessarily venomous snakes, but other stuff.
Yeah, nothing too dangerous or exciting, but some guys at several of the Southern California Natural History Museums they want to find out about our invasive animal species. Well, I was in the snake business a lot more than I am now.
Yeah.
I still wasn't a full-time hunter at this point.
Yeah.
My buddies would go raid a set of buildings up north of here, and they would go catch geckos. What the hell are you clowns catching geckos for? He goes, dude, our other buddy has a table at the reptile show. So what we're going to do is we're going to catch like 500 of these things. We're going to sell them for like $4 or $5 a piece.
Oh,
we're going to sell them at the reptile show to people who want colonies for feeding their chameleons or their lizard-eating snakes or whatever. Because house geckos breed like crazy. They're really easy to keep. I mean, they live on the wall of your house, for God's sake. I mean, they're really not very challenging to take care of. They're a low hassle source of
it's like the crickets
protein for some animals. Yeah,
it's like crickets, but like bigger. That's cool.
Yeah, but I mean, a cricket doesn't have very much potassium or phosphorus.
Oh, okay.
A hatchling gecko has loads of protein, fat, phosphorus, calcium. It's got all the good stuff that the snakes need, or your lizards if you have carnivorous lizards or whatever.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
So yeah, so I got involved in helping them catch. Basically, we would clean the walls of this one neighborhood up north of here, and we would just take every dang thing we found. And my buddies would go sell them at the reptile show, and they'd give me a cut when I was in town.
That's cool. Yeah.
So this was back in the day, but even so, I mean,
you made those contacts, and now you're kind of helping.
Yeah. So now it's like, if I'm walking around somewhere and I look over, hey, there's a gecko there. So, I'll pick it up and take some pictures.
Yeah.
Well, I got in contact with the guy that owns CaliforniaHerps.com. His name is Gary Naffes. And he's basically the guy when it comes to identifying stuff that's present in California.
Oh,
and
cool.
we have discovering new species around San Diego that haven't been documented before.
What?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff we caught in Orange County for a while there, it was like this undescribed gecko species.
Yeah.
So like nobody had bothered to name it yet or anything.
Oh, that's right. So, I remember that. You mentioned this. So did you get some?
Yeah.
Did you discover one?
Not yet. So the ones we found on the one side of town are the African or what's the name? I forget what it is, but African or tropical house gecko or neotropical house gecko. They have a bunch of names, but it's that one, and that one hasn't been documented in California before.
That's super cool.
Cool. We're getting that one straightened out, and we're trying to figure out if these other ones that I have at my house and farther down the street are a different species or not, or if they're the same. We don't know.
And if they're new species, you get to name it.
I'm gonna name it after I told them name it after my wife.
Oh, that's so cool. That'd be cool. Let us know what happens with that. That's perfect. Okay, I have some good questions. Probably the best question of the night from El Matador. Here we go. His question is, have you ever seen a mermaid?
I've seen some very strange things I could not explain with my rational mind. I have seen a number of these things. I've seen probably 5 or 6 things
that were just like
my logical, rational brain it's not computing what I saw.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
And I think I told you guys about the glowing shark that I saw. That was
sorry guys.
One of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Hang on, Coach. My screen. I was not moving my mouse around, and my screensaver turned on, and it locked my computer. I'm back. Sorry guys, we're back. Sorry guys, that was weird. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
So I think I told you guys about the glowing shark, right?
No. Oh yeah, you did. You did on Discord.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that was like 300 or 400 miles off Panama. We were working tuna. Customer had asked us to do more than the typical field dressing of the tuna or hand cleaning of the tuna. wanted like everything in front of the collar and like parts of the belly and the entire tail removed. I'm not sure why you would do that, but because usually all those extra parts add up to extra weight and you can turn that into other products. And usually that's a desirable thing. So we're all kind of confused, but we were out there and they had the motorized saw out. And it was making a huge mess. And we were dumping all the heads and guts and tail chunks and everything over the side. It was the middle of the night, like 1 or 2 in the morning. It was dark as death. There was no moon, no nothing. Had the deck lights on, but all the superstructure lights were off.
Right.
We were there chopping away in the dark. So one by one, I just feel everybody else go silent. And I realize they're all looking over the rail into the water. Now, keep in mind, the water, like 300 miles off Panama, you have unlimited visibility. Like, the visibility runs out when the light runs out.
Oh, that's cool.
Usually. So we're looking over the side, and there was a huge shark. And I've seen a lot of sharks in my life. Don't get me wrong, I've seen lots and lots of sharks. Tons of them. Almost got eaten by one. A couple, maybe. But anyway, one was real close. But I have never seen a shark that swam like that was that big. Ever. No, not close. Not within 20 feet of that shark.
Right. So how long do you think that shark was?
Dude, I'm hesitant even to say it, dude. I mean, it really seemed like it was longer than 50 feet.
Dang, dude, that's crazy. So bigger
than
a
long way
bigger
down.
Than the boat?
Just a bit shorter, I'd say.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And when we shut off the external lights, you could see the outline of the shark glowing as it swam around.
Oh, because of the bioluminescence or whatever? By the yeah.
And you can tell it came up from a long way down. I mean, you're like, oh, it's a whale shark. I've seen, not hordes of whale sharks, but I've seen quite a few whale sharks.
Yeah.
This thing did not swim like a whale shark. It swam like a mako or a great white or a bull shark.
Ooh. That's crazy.
How does your rational mind, I mean, how do you wrap your mind around that? How do you justify that? How do you say to somebody, oh yeah, I saw this and I'm 100% sure? I mean, even looking back at my memory, it's just weird. Like,
yeah. That's cool. That's a cool experience though.
Yeah, I've seen a couple things I couldn't explain, but that was one of the ones that really stuck with me. I've seen several, I'll just call it paranormal things that were very, very strange.
Yeah. Interesting. That's crazy.
I've seen a couple of those, and one of those really scared me for a long time. But I can easily see if ancient people saw things like the stuff I saw, I'm sure they saw a lot more than the stuff I saw because we're huge beasts on the earth back, a couple thousand years ago or whatever. I can totally understand how things like mermaids and the sirens.
Mm-hmm.
My experience was very like the sirens in the Odyssey. It was very like it.
Oh, that's cool.
It was if you want to say my mind made it up or I'm a crackpot, that's fine. Whatever. It's fine. The experience from my end was so horrifyingly real.
Wow.
And if ancient man experienced that, he wouldn't have had the rationale to say, okay, this is probably not happening.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. Yeah, like there's gotta be some kind of there's gotta be something to all those like at sea stories, It's just, a lot of
the first time you see like a 20-some foot oarfish, you immediately understand where all the rumor and everything came from.
That's the sea monster right there. Yeah, sea serpent.
You realize where the sea monster stories come from instantly.
Yeah, exactly. So Adam says he tried to keep an alligator when he was younger, but his mom wasn't having it.
Good mom.
That's awesome. He's got a question. Do you keep and herps now? I'm not sure what that means.
No, I don't keep any herps now.
What's herps then?
Herps are
reptiles?
Frog snakes, lizards, salamanders.
Okay. Ooh, salamanders creep me out. Wayne says this is going to be a new miniseries called Snake King. What up, Hyder? Welcome back. Hyder says parental duties kept me up. That's a Hyder says parental duties kept me, but we can start the show now. Cool. Welcome, Hyder. Let's see. Happy birthday too. I know your birthday was a couple days ago. What up, Aaron? Welcome back. Okay, hit the like button. Luis hit that like. Good job, guys. Thanks again. Let me scroll down a little bit, see what questions we're at. Yeah, Aaron's like, how big? So that's funny. Jess got a question. I know a place that has flowing deep pools of clear water up in Ramona. It has water snakes in many of the pools that go after tadpoles. Do you know what species of snakes they might be?
I would say your number one candidate is going to be the two-striped garter. Two-striped garter snake is very aquatic and definitely eats lots of amphibians.
That's weird.
I don't think we have the true water snakes here in Southern California, except at a couple localities I've heard of. But if you get a picture of one and the stripes, instead of going down the body, are like crossbars, then we might have a real population of introduced water snakes here in San Diego. That would be a real bad thing.
Oh, really?
Although all the life in that whole creek, if that's true.
Are all those are the two species you mentioned poisonous?
No. A water snake, when it bites you, though, it has an anticoagulant in its spit.
Oh.
It helps frogs bleed to death.
Yeah, so it can help you bleed too.
Yeah, so you bleed for a long time and it looks terrible and it hurts and they're really mean, so they're really likely to bite you.
Okay. That's crazy.
Usually when a water snake's biting you, it's biting you and crapping on you at the same time. It's really a once in a lifetime experience.
That's hilarious. All right, Cal's got
friendly creatures, those water snakes.
That's a good question, Jay. If you see those snakes, don't get too close. Don't get bit by those things unless you want to poop yourself. I mean, bleed to death. And then but do get a coach a picture. Let's see. Cal says best salchichas recipe.
Oh man, this is what you do.
There we go.
Take the salchichas and you wrap them in foil. You pour some beer in the foil and you steam them in the beer first. I like cheap beer so that it doesn't overcome the flavor of the meat and spices and everything.
Yeah.
You're using a beer that tastes like chocolate and strawberries and hints of sea anemone and toe and dirty socks or something. That's what your salchichas. You just stick to a nice, light, even beer.
Do you puncture the casing?
Then you roast them. Then you roast
so keep the casing intact. That. And then after that you roast them, and the casing will burst on its own when you're roasting them. Okay, cool. Good question. That's an awesome answer too. Zach's got a question. What area of SD are you finding all these animals?
Okay, so one big population of geckos lives in El Cajon. One lives in La Mesa. There's another separate population that lives in Mission Valley and down through what is it called? Grant Station. And there's another set of geckos that used to be around, although I haven't been down there to look for any, so I don't know if they're still there, down in National City, kind of off of Maine there.
Nice. Jet says yellow-orange stripes down the sides, no crossing.
Yeah, that would be a two-striped garter snake, which is actually
it's a native snake,
critically endangered species, but a very rare one.
Cool.
So I mean, a very cool snake, and glad to hear that they're present up there.
That's awesome. Cool. Right on. Cool. Well, it's about the 8 o'clock hour. What's up, Hector? Welcome to the stream. I hope you greetings from Fallbrook. What up, North County of San Diego? Any good spots around my area? All right, let's do this. Let's do Hector's question, and let's see. So he's in Fallbrook, North County, and San Diego. Any good spots around my area? Hector, what kind of fish are you looking for? Are you looking for like spotted bay bass? Are you looking just to fish saltwater? Give us a little bit more info. Are you fishing from shore primarily, or are you fishing from a boat or a kayak? And then we'll give you a better answer.
There's lots of good fishing up there, though.
He says he does it. He says he does it all. Cool. So the question is, any good spots around my area? Oside Harbor, says Cal. Yep, that's a good spot.
One of my favorite spots when I was up that way was that weird jetty south of the pier, Oceanside.
Yep.
There's lots of mussels there. You can start pulling mussels off, crush them up, throw them in the water, get the opali or sargos or whatever when they're around, and fire it up, and then you just drift a chunk right down there into them.
Awesome. Salty SoCal 22 says, real quick before it ends, anyone have any baits to try for spotties? Want to try new stuff and want to try new stuff like that. I like the axe blade. So Salty SoCal, besides the axe blade, what baits have you already tried? Add that to the chat. And I want to recommend my tried and true favorite right now is Ned Rig, 1/5 of an ounce. Do the extra. I forget what it's called. It's like I usually have some here. Do the power finesse shroom heads with TRD little slugs, 2 inches. Those are good.
A little distracted. I have a mosquito trying to chomp on me in my fabulous garage here. He hasn't gotten to me yet though. So
awesome. So that's what I would recommend. Also, there's also like the underspins option. That's also a fun style of fishing to do. For me, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's effective once you figure out how to do it. Good stuff. And then El Matador, he's saying like, "You guys are killing me. I can barely keep up with fish species, and now you're adding herp." That's so good. Cool. So. Okay, so you tried spinners, Ned Rig, shaky head, swim baits. I've tried the umbrella. I haven't tried the umbrella yet. Well, the umbrella is a great one to try. Next Wednesday on Bay Fishing with Roman and Brian, we're gonna be doing basically A-rig setups. Okay, so tune in next Wednesday, and it's gonna be a good one to get your umbrella rig set up and dialed in. We're gonna go over all kinds of specifics, and it's gonna be a good episode for you to watch. Okay. But yeah, that's a good one to try. The umbrella rig, it's really fun. Super fun. Okay. Cool. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. But before we wrap it up, do me a big favor. And I see 32 of you guys in here, and I see 22 likes. Hit that like button, guys. And, to show some, say thanks to Coach for jumping on here and saving the day. He's going to go catch some more. He's going to go catch some geckos now. And, it was good having you on, Coach. Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to share? Tell us your YouTube channel name.
You can hit me up at Werf TV on the SD Fish forums. I'm Werfless on there.
Our
WERFLESS.
Perfect. And then like a fishing Werf. And he is also listed on our contributors section within the Fishy Hour YouTube homepage. So if you're already watching on Fishy Hour, click on the Fishy Hour name. Fishy Hour with Roman name, and it's gonna take you to the homepage of the to the YouTube page for this channel, and then on the right you'll see him listed there along with other contributors to the show. Okay, so go on there, give him a sub, and watch his videos when he puts content out. Okay, let's see. Cool. So that's good.
Anybody have any other questions for me?
Let's see. Any other questions real quick? We see here's Kyle says, what do you think the calico fishing will come back on the sporties?
When the crystal ball's hung up right now.
Nice.
We've got a big chunk of water sitting off of Guadalupe on up to the north. The water is not coming any closer. I don't know what's hanging it up or what's causing the problem. Until that water shifts, until our local water finishes turning over, and either we get some southwest winds or our current from the south picks back up, because right now the current's sweeping pretty hard along the coast southward.
Yeah.
Until that changes, I mean, I don't see this going anywhere. I mean, if I see it move, I'll chime in on Fishy Hour. I'll try to give you guys a couple days heads up at least.
Perfect. 2 more questions real quick.
I've had my eye on it, but
2 more questions. This is the last questions we're going to do, guys. So Wayne's asking, do you drop back banana jigs for tuna?
Oh, I have a different jig I prefer. Let me go get it.
Oh, there you go. Go for it. Show and tell. Woo. All right, Wayne, your question generated a show and tell. Let's see. He's gonna grab a jig and show us. Meanwhile, I'll entertain you guys with my wit. Let's see. I have some stuff I can share with you guys, I guess. Let's see. Let's go here. So going forward, send your friends to fishyhour.com right here, and that's where they'll be able to see what Fishy Hour is all about and be able to see where we're streaming on that any given day. Okay, so Tuesdays we're on Twitch, and all the rest of the weeks we're here on Fishy Hour. And here, this will automatically populate with the latest thing that's happening. As you can see, Fishy interview with Werf TV just populated this section, but you can go here and see all the videos that we have listed for this channel. I even went back through and I added all of our videos since before April. Let's see. Back when Fishy Hour was happy hour, testing, happy hour with Roman, a call-in show, testing 1, 2, 3. Anyway, so you can watch all the episodes you ever wanted to watch and have a good old time. Okay. Let's go back to Coach. Where's Coach at? Here we go. And come back. And I'm back. Split screen. Okay. I'm going to put you full screen, actually. Go for it.
Okay, so most anybody who's ever fished back in the day will recognize the lure I'm about to show you. This is a original bead / Bridgeport diamond jig. This is one of the first real designs that made public, that was made, mass-produced, and was available to most people by like 1930. Little history on the diamond jig. The diamond jig's been around a long time. It's been around like 300 to 400 years, depending on who you ask. Originally, it was used in a bone form with lead at the bottom by the Scandinavians for cod. It is absolutely a deadly tool when fish are suspended. It is a lure forgotten about here in Southern California. We use them all the time in places like Texas and in the deep waters off Miami when they're jigging at night for tuna.
So good.
This jig's, it's been around a long time. So here's the classic one here.
Yep, perfect. Hold it back a little bit. It's like a prism.
And there's my giant Siwash hook at the bottom.
Nice.
Tuna are hung up. It is a deadly, deadly tool.
How heavy is that?
The one on my right hand's a 6. I think the one on my left hand is a 4.
Cool.
So there's a modern version made of this jig where they took all the weaknesses out of the original diamond jig and they made it in a version that is almost indestructible. It rarely hangs up on itself, which is one of the real complaints about the old style diamond jig. This jig is an ahi assault jig. Now, this finish doesn't hold up very well. The fish eat it just fine with just lead, even if there's no paint.
Got it.
And when they wear off the reflective tape, I paint them white so I can see them. Fish don't care.
Yeah.
But makes it easier for you to work with the jig if you're, especially at night, if it's got a little bit of something on it, you can see it.
True. Very true. Very nice.
This jig has, let me see if I can try to focus on, I don't know if I'll be able to focus on it.
That's good.
It has a solid ring on the bottom. It's not going to break.
It's got a welded ring.
It's not going to open.
Yep.
It's got a welded solid ring on the bottom. And it's got this incredibly beefy crane swivel up here.
Oh, nice.
Help reduce line twist.
Perfect.
So they took everything that made a regular diamond jig sort of weak. They perfected it in this jig, and this jig is cheap.
Would you fish that? Would you fish that for yellows? For yellow tuna?
Not for yellows.
No, just
not for yellows, just tuna.
Tuna, cool.
It's absolutely deadly at night or when they're hung up a couple hundred feet from the boat.
Oh, okay.
Live bait's just not going to get to them.
Perfect. Super cool.
I prefer this over a flat fall, over any of those other jigs. I prefer this jig.
That's good. Super good. All right. There you go, guys. That's an excellent piece of advice there. Thanks, Wayne, for the question. That's it. That's all the questions we can do tonight, guys. Do me a favor. I put out a video a couple of days ago about kayak fishing do's and don'ts. A lot of you guys made some great suggestions, and I included them in that video. There's a link in the chat that I just added. Do me a favor. Go watch the video. I'm trying to beef up the numbers on it. Leave a comment. Give it a like. Help me out with that. That'd be awesome. And tomorrow we're going to be doing trivia night. So we'll be back. Coach will be in the chats, hopefully.
I should be there tomorrow.
Awesome. I'm going to go split screen with you. Yeah, so it should be a fun time. For me, it's like less stressful than getting the show ready. Like most of the week, I'm like, oh, I got to get ready for the show. But Fridays, it's more relaxed. I feel like it's the end of the week, like most of you guys. So yeah, it should be a fun show. We have I'm not sure. We have a potential donor to like a prize, but I'm thinking about maybe holding off on that prize until next week, so I give him promotion the whole week. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so at least you're gonna get a shirt. That'll be the default, like always. If not, then we might have a sponsor for that. Okay. Need to have Roman drinking night. Nice. Yeah, we'll have a drinking night soon. I've been doing a lot of exercising lately, and I'm feeling good. So I need to take a break from my keto life and do a drinking night. That'd be kind of fun. So, Coach, anything else you want to share before we close this thing out?
Can I just talk about one of my pet peeves for a couple of minutes?
Yeah. Let me put you on full. Go for it.
All right, people. There is an unused resource out there, and it really bothers me that it's not used. And it's the fact that 90% of shore fishing, steel isn't considered for weights. And the guys that use things like steel and spark plugs are looked down on as some kind of filthy rookies who should be shunned and go back to the pier, you idiot, blah, blah, blah. If you're one of the people that treats people this way, you will get an earful of really nasty invective if you ever try that with me, because I'm being ecologically responsible every chance I can. Every chance I can. I don't want to break off a piece of lead in the rocks and have it sit there for 100 years contaminating the environment. I lose weights a lot because I fish rocky areas, I fish kelpy areas, I fish mix of rock and sand. I use anything I can find: nuts, bolts, nails, those iron wheel weights. I'll hammer them flat and drill a hole in the end. There's lots and lots of things you can do to reduce your impact on the environment and try to do the right thing. There's some areas where lead really is superior, like split shot, sliding weights, really big, deep, not really big, deep dropping weights, but like bottom contact weight, stuff like that. Lead's superior. I get it. If you're just chucking a piece of meat out into the surf and letting it sit or something, there's no reason not to use a bolt or something at the end. There's a million ways to attach them. It's really easy to figure it out. And then when you break it off, you don't have 3, 4, 5, 6 ounces of lead laying on the bottom for 200 years, oxidizing slowly into the water. So if there's one thing I can encourage you guys to do, it's consider using steel in places where steel makes sense to use. Fishing from the jetty, fishing from the cliffs, long distance surf casting, all that stuff. You can use steel just fine, and it works great.
Perfect. That makes sense. So the reason you use steel is because it degrades faster in the water with the salt water, and it's like, right?
Well, there's no toxic residues.
Got it.
It's gone super quick.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. There you go.
So I mean,
I like it. So that's perfect. Cool. All right, guys. So I'm gonna kick on the music, and I'm gonna do some shout outs while we wrap this baby up. Coach, thank you so much for saving the day. Round of applause for Coach here. Guys, go make sure you subscribe to Werf TV. If you don't know how to find them, look for the contributors section of our homepage. And after the stream is over, do me a favor, go watch that video. Okay, go watch that video, leave a comment, full view, and make me happy. That's good. That's all I ask. That's good. Cool. And then we'll see you guys on Friday tomorrow for trivia night. Dun dun dun. What else? I think that's it. Right? Cool. All right, Coach. I'm gonna hang up with you. Thanks again for calling, and again, appreciate you. Appreciate you always being on Discord and helping out the new guys. I know it's like you go above and beyond, sir. Thank you so much. A lot of respect for you, sir. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, Roman. Take care of yourself tonight.
Awesome.
I got geckos to go catch.
Nice. Catch them. Good job. Thanks.
Peace, man.
Peace. All right. Super cool, guys. Super cool. It's always fun to hang out. I feel like the interviews with Coach are like a lot smoother because we're kind of hanging out. It feels like we're just hanging out. So I want to open it up to some of you guys. If you guys are interested in hanging out, I mean, you know what it's like. It's not it could be a little bit intimidating. I admit it. It could be a little bit intimidating to be on here speaking your mind in front of all these people. But for the most part, it's just fishing, guys. We all love talking about fishing. And if you love talking about fishing, you want to take the opportunity to come on here and share your experiences. everybody's got something they can teach somebody else. Okay. I don't care if you've just started fishing last week or if you've been fishing for 10 years, 20 years, you have something that you've experienced that maybe we don't know of yet that could be helpful. So don't be stingy with your knowledge. If you guys are interested in becoming a guest next week or the week after that or whatever, or if you guys have any ideas for some people that we can get here as a guest, people that you would like to see interviewed, let's start a thread on the Mad Max Fishing Club Facebook page. I'm going to start it. I'm going to ask for people that you would like for me to ask to be guests here on the show. And then what I'll do is I'll do my due diligence. I'll ask those people to participate in the show. And if they want to join, I'll schedule them. If not, then we'll let bygones be bygones and just move on to the next potential guest. But anyway, so there it is. You have an opportunity to come on here and share your story. And of course, promote a product if you want to, but with the caveat that you first give us some solid value in exchange for us hearing you out on your product if you're trying to sell a product. Number two is if you have a company or individual who is a personality in fishing or is really good at a specific type of fishing that you want to hear his take on or her take on it, let us know. That's how we're going to use. That's what I'm going to use to pursue the next stretch of guests. Okay, so cool, guys. Again, thanks again for jumping on here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for trivia night. And again, last reminder, go watch that video. I want to see that. I want to see the views on that video go up. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in Discord in about 2 or 3 minutes. Good night. Have a good one. I gotta find this. Gotta find the page to end my stream. There it is. All right, guys. Good night.